Hello, it's me. What is up with so many things? Let's rant about something very important, which is propaganda. It's been spreading across for months, and especially in this country. The entire idea of toxic masculinity and feminism has been spreading like rapid in this country, and it's a shame because they literally make ads where they scare women and make women feel like, every day they're being hunted, which is not true. Yes, we have a large rape statistic, but it's like not every single woman is being targeted. Okay, I just want to put that out there, you know, because it's like the way they exaggerate it, the way they try to make women fear everything, and then they say you must rise up and stuff and fight this and fight that when there's nothing for them to fight besides besides the rapists, which is that's the only thing as well. Our president came up months ago and called all men rapists. That's what he called all men. He called them rapists. I'm not even joking. The fact that you can say that and stuff, ridiculous. Every time you go up, he'll say, or not go up, well, every time he goes live on television and whatnot, online, whatever, talking about, you know, what's happened to the country with the state of COVID-19 and stuff, he always mentions one thing about the women and children. He never did this before. He never did this. And I mean it, he never did this. This wasn't a talk so much compared to now because he's yapping about it so many times, and every time he would mention something, he would not mention farm murders. He won't mention farm murders, and here's the thing: I'm not saying you shouldn't bring um, any voice to this. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. I'm saying that's good that you bring voice to this tragic thing happening. But the fact that not one word from farm murders, not one word from any of this stuff, it's ridiculous. It's utter ridiculous. Our president doesn't mind farm murders. It's clear, okay? So in my opinion, it sounds like a conspiracy, but I don't like conspiracies, but this sounds like one, but what I'm going to say is something different. What if the current government is using this like 16 days of activism and like, raise the flag for all the violence and happening against women and children, raise the flag now only for 16 days. Uh, what if they're doing that just to make people focus on something else rather than what's happening with the farm murders? Because the farm murders happen all the time as well, and many people don't talk about it so much. And when it's talked about, people call it a conspiracy theory. People shun it away, and it's ridiculous. You know, it's ridiculous. Why can't we give that? Why can't we also give the same amount of time for 16 days of activism to the farm murders as well, to those who died uh, in these farm murders? Why can't we give time for those farmers? Oh no, we can't, because that's a conspiracy theorist. We live in this weird reality. Propaganda has spread so far with toxic masculinity, and last year there was an article and stuff, toxic masculinity. Raise your boys not to to have toxic masculinity. Now, obviously, the toxic masculinity came up from it was possibly brought up by feminists because they hate anything masculine, and they just call it toxic. Added these words together, so it's like, yeah, they created this freaking thing, and everyone's catching up to it, and innocent men are being blamed for this stuff. Men can't be masculine anymore, which is a shame. It's like, why? Why do you have to belittle them like that? If you want to be feminine, go ahead, be feminine. No one's gonna stop you. But it's like, if you want to be masculine, you somehow treat it like a monster, and it's like, oh, it's so toxic. It's like, shut up. Let them be masculine. Shut the fuck up and let them be masculine. Same for feminine. Shut up and let them be feminine. Stop making a big deal about it. Goes to both ways. Shut up about it. Stop calling every person who's masculine or any manly man a monster. Stop that. That's ridiculous, honestly. And now, literally, the fact that you know people think, oh, this is happening all over South Africa. Oh no, look, toxic masculinity. It's like, shut up. What are we doing? Honestly, what are we freaking doing? In my opinion, it's ridiculous. Men can't be strong or anything like that anymore because they're told it's wrong. But if a man wants to be strong, they're still told it's wrong. Wow, we live in a real disturbing world. And The fact that our current government um, could care less about farm murders really annoys me. And it's sad. It's very sad that this happens. It's very sad that, as I said, it sounds like a conspiracy when I said that, but it's like, what if they're using this women and children thing to make people like forget about what's happening with farm murders and stuff, to kind of distract people, which is impossible because, the news is getting out that farm murders do happen. So it could be possibly the failed way to distract people, but anyways, 16 days of activism, really, raise the flag. Why now? Why not all the time? It's ridiculous, in my opinion. It's ridiculous. I'm so glad this entire nonsense with toxic masculinity don't work with me at all, because I'm not going to raise my son. If I have sons, I'm not going to raise them to, to force to be feminine. I'm sorry, I'm going to raise them how you raise a normal son. And if he wants to be feminine, let him be feminine. But I'm gonna raise my son a normal way, okay? That's it. Because I want nothing to do with this nonsense, you know. There was an all-boys school. If you watch my previous videos, I posted a 3-part series where I spoke about this all-boys school. And this all-boys school, what happened was they, you know, ever since the BLM stuff happened, they had this list of 20 demands, and they wanted this and that. It was like they wanted LGBTQ safe spaces. They wanted so many things. They wanted like segregation and stuff like that for certain races and like certain things. It's like, wait, let me get this straight. They hate racism, yet they love segregation. It's ridiculous in my opinion. Why do they want this stuff? You know, they love inclusivity, but they want segregation. It's ridiculous. And this was coming from an all boys school. See, it's already affecting many boys as well. This feminist nonsense being spread. You know, I'm glad there will be people in the future to take a stand from this BS and fight back. So I really applaud those who fight back, because sometimes it's hard for many people to look up to someone or gain information from what's actually happening, because the internet's full with a lot of these feminists eating everything, complaining about everything, telling you should complain about something because they're angry at something. It's ridiculous. Anyways, that was my rant. My throat's hurting. As I said, you know, enough with this toxic masculinity BS. We've even had adverts where people say toxic masculinity is bad. It's like, do you even know what the hell you're talking about? Do you have an idea what you're talking about? This was made to basically end masculine men, to mock masculine men. This is ridiculous. I want my country not to fall for propaganda, okay? Anyways, that's it. Tell me your thoughts. I'm sick and tired of all this BS nonsense being pushed around. I'm sorry, but it's just ridiculous. Honestly, I will raise my son how you raise sons, okay? I'm not gonna freaking say, oh, be feminine. If he wants to be feminine on his own, go ahead. I'm not gonna hurt him or whatever. I think that's wrong to say you can't do that, you know. It's wrong to do that, so there we go. But I will raise him in a masculine way, because it's normal. It's normal, okay? Boys, as I said, boys need both parents as well to be raised, and they need both parents. And it's like, I want to be there for my children. I want to be there to raise them well and make sure they don't go the wrong path or don't do anything wrong. I don't want my children to suffer. Anyways, that's it. That was just my little tidbit rant on this propaganda being spread. We have 16 days of activism, yet we're not allowed to raise a white cross. Like, the white cross basically symbolizes the farmers being murdered and stuff. And no, don't put any white cross and stuff. In fact, I heard there were like a journalist or something who basically I think lit a white cross on fire or something like that. They did something, I can't remember. This happened weeks ago. um, and that was fine. They could do that. It's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. You're not allowed to do anything, and pay respects to those who have fallen at all for the farmers and stuff. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Anyways, that's it. Propaganda spreads way too far, and that's the issue as well. In my opinion, I think we should try our best to fight against this propaganda and stuff because it keeps winning and winning. Oh yes, we own someone online. Yes, that's fun to do, but it's like they're still winning with the propaganda. Now it's not a propaganda war. It's the fact that they're putting propaganda out, and if we dare put something like a normal traditional cartoon, it's considered bad. It's considered the worst thing ever because traditionalism isn't allowed. Any of these normal things isn't allowed. I'm more happy that people are standing up against this stuff, but for how long? How long until we silence and whatever? Heh, don't know what's gonna happen. In my opinion, all I have to say is just gonna raise my sons a masculine way, and that's it.